Ever wonder what lurks in the deepest, coldest shadows of Christmas? While most of us are dreaming of sugar plums, alpine folklore tells a different story, one of horns, fur, and terror. We all know Krampus, the Christmas devil, but his story is just the beginning. To truly understand him, we have to journey deeper into the ancient, untamed world of the Perchten. These aren't your everyday, average demons. The Perchten are wild, masked figures from pagan winter rites, long before Christmas as we know it even existed. In these traditions, there's a fascinating split. You have the Shane Perchten, the beautiful Perchten. They wear elaborate headdresses and ring massive bells to drive away the lingering darkness of winter and bring blessings for the new year. They represent light, hope, and the promise of spring. But where there is light, there must be shadow. And that's where the Shahok-Perchten, the ugly Perchten, come in. Covered in shaggy fur, wearing grotesque, terrifying masks, and carrying whips and chains, they embody pure, primal fear. Sound familiar? This is the tradition Krampus emerges from. While Krampus specifically targets naughty children around December 5th, the Perchten runs, or Perchtengaff, traditionally happen later. Around Epiphany on January 6th, their purpose is bigger, a full-blown spiritual purge of the entire community, cleansing it of winter's gloom and evil spirits before the new year truly begins. The heart of this tradition, the thing that gives it such visceral power, is the mask. These aren't cheap Halloween costumes. A traditional Krampus or Perchten mask is a masterpiece of folk horror, a portal to a primal part of the human psyche. Artisans spend months, even years, carving them from linden wood. They're painted in unsettling shades of blood red and deep black, and crowned with real goat or ram horns that curl and twist menacingly. These masks are treasures, often passed down through generations, each one holding the spirit of the past. But something incredible happens when someone puts on one of these masks. It's more than just a costume. It's a transformation. Psychologically, it's a ritual descent into what Carl Jung called the shadow, the repressed, instinctual part of ourselves. It's where we hide our aggression, our untamed energy, all the things society tells us to suppress. By embodying the monster, the wearer doesn't become evil. Instead, they get to safely explore and integrate these darker parts of their own nature. It's a form of catharsis. The rattling chains, the cracking whips, the chaotic, aggressive chasers, it's a controlled frenzy. It's a way for a community to release its built-up tensions and anxieties in a ritualized way, preventing them from erupting into a real-world conflict. It's a primal scream therapy session for an entire village. Given this raw, chaotic energy, it's no surprise that Krampus and the Perchten have had a rocky history. In the 20th century, powerful forces tried to stamp them out. The rise of fascism saw these traditions condemned. The Nazis, obsessed with a sanitized and controlled version of folk culture, banned Krampus events, labeling them degenerate. After the war, Austria even briefly outlawed wearing the masks in public. For a society grappling with the very real horrors of war, these demonic figures hit a little too close to home. The traditions were pushed into the shadows, seemingly destined to fade away. But you can't keep a good demon down. Starting in the 1980s and 90s, something amazing happened. Krampus roared back to life, fueled by a mix of tourism, a renewed interest in local heritage, and a healthy dose of counterculture rebellion. The tradition was reborn. Today's Krampus runs, or Krampus Elf, are massive events, drawing thousands of spectators. Streets are filled with dozens, sometimes hundreds, of costumed figures who storm through the crowds, playfully swatting people with birch branches and giving them a good scare. It's part parade, part haunted house, and completely unforgettable. So why this modern resurgence? Psychologically, it might reflect a deep-seated dissatisfaction with our sanitized, overly polite modern lives. In a world of curated social media feeds and constant pressure to be positive, Krampus offers something raw, authentic, and unapologetically dark. He is the ultimate rebel against perpetual niceness. He reminds us that darkness isn't something to be afraid of or eradicated, but a natural part of life that needs to be acknowledged and even, at times, embraced. He gives us permission to be a little wild. If you want a truly unfiltered glimpse into this tradition's soul, you need to look at the Krampus. These were greeting cards, popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and they are wonderfully twisted. These weren't ironic, hipster novelties. They were genuine holiday greetings. Gross warm Krampus, Greetings from Krampus. The images on them are shocking by today's standards. They show Krampus gleefully tormenting children, stuffing them into sacks, threatening them with his birch switch, and dragging them away in chains. Sometimes there are even strange, almost erotic undertones, with Krampus menacing young women, and often the parents are in the background, watching and approving. From a modern psychological perspective, these cards are a fascinating window into the anxieties of the past. They externalize a collective fear of uncontrolled children, or perhaps the chaos of one's own inner child. In a time when survival was harder and discipline was seen as essential, these cards reinforce the need for harsh order. They reveal a morbid fascination with punishment as a form of justice, blending fear directly with festivity. It was a way of saying, be good or else, but with a festive, holiday flair. In the end, Krampus endures because he serves a vital purpose. He is the yin to Santa's yang, the darkness that defines the light. He forces us to look into the abyss of a long, cold winter, and the abyss within ourselves. And when we do, we find a horned, long-tongued monster grinning right back at us. By embracing this figure of fear, by running with him in the streets or just acknowledging his place in the holiday season, we aren't celebrating evil. We are reclaiming a vital, wild, and powerful piece of our own humanity. Thank you so much for journeying into the shadows with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into folklore and psychology, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores the fascinating, darker side of our world. See you in the next video.